Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to another NBA simulation recreation ting. We are carrying on from where we left off, which for you guys will be yesterday at the same sort of time. But for me, it's only been a few hours because I'm addicted to seeing what the simulation has to offer. The first thing that we obviously like to do, you know what? Actually, let's flesh this one out just a bit more than usual and put a bit more detail into it. Let's go to all players. So we'll look at the best players in the league right now. So LeBron James, 98 rated. He has been 99 in this series. He's still only 28, so he's still got a long time ahead of him, but he's still yet to win a NBA championship. Because if we look at him, his stats are actually pretty decent. But if we look, he has won the MVP 8 times, which is unbelievable. He started in 2005, so he got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He didn't get it in 2012, but he got it back in 2013. He's been a 10-time All-Star, first team All-NBA. He's been 9 times. He's got the personal accolades. He needs that team. He needs that championship. But he is at a very good team. The Raptors are a very good team. But if we look at his stats, we shall see that, ever since he moved from Chicago, where he spent 4 seasons there when he got drafted, he's been at Orlando Magic for 3 seasons, and now he's at Toronto Raptors, and he's been there 3 seasons. He's still yet to, even though he's been 6 years in the top level in top teams, he just can't do anything. Chris Paul, who has actually been his teammate, has been at Toronto, but now he is back at the Timberwolves, the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he spent 4 seasons before. Just interesting. Kevin Durant is 96 rated right now, 25 years of age, so he's got plenty of not life in him, but he's got plenty of stuff still in him. Carmelo Anthony, who in real life has not won a championship. Unfortunately, he's been one of those players that's been the best player on a team, but he's never got a championship ring. But in this series, one of my favourite players, definitely in my top 3, along with Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, he actually has won a NBA championship a few years ago. So it shows. Dirk Nowitzki, also just 1 championship. Kevin Durant has got 1 championship. Chris Paul has got 1 championship. Derrick Rose hasn't got a championship. He was the one that got MVP when LeBron didn't get it. To be fair, James Harden is only 24. He's got plenty left in him. Russell Westbrook, only 24. He's been a champion. Steph Curry is on the rise. He's 25 years old. McGrady is a 2-time champion. Tim Parker is a 4-time Tony Parker, I should say, not Tim Parker. 4-time champion. Vince Carter, 1-time champion. Dwayne Wade hasn't won it yet. He's 31 years old, so he needs to step on it. John Wall hasn't. 2-time NBA champion Paul Pierce was. Who was that with? Because he's at the Raptors now. He won it with. I think he won it with Toronto. Oh, it would have been for the Grizzlies, and maybe potentially it wasn't for the Orlando Magic. So yeah, it would have been with the Grizzlies, 2-time champion. But yeah, that's just to sum things up. But anyway, let's actually get into this episode, probably look at the actual scouting. So Joel Embiid is probably the biggest one. There's Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker, we've got Marcus Smart, Zach LaVine as well, or Levine, however you want to say it. Julius Randle, who is one of my I've got a great affiliation with, especially you know what? This is about 9 years ago. Has Julius Randle been in this for 9 years? That's crazy. But anyway, let's now simulate through the regular season and see how we go. Oh, I've got a message I need to. Just replying to a couple of people. Well, to be fair, right now we are just waiting for things to happen. Oh my God, that is an awful record from the Lakers. If you look down there, into the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, their record is 8-30, which is truly horrendous. It definitely has taken a bit longer to actually simulate for it, but you've got to think that we started in 84, so what we've done. So 16, we've done 30 years of we've done literally 30 years of the simulation, which is crazy. We've seen some fantastic performance and we've seen some not so fantastic performances, let's put it that way. But no, I am very happy with how this series has gone. But it'll be interesting what happens now in the remaining 10 years, up to 10 years. But anyway, we are getting close now to April, which means obviously all the regular season awards are going to be dished out. Is LeBron going to be a MVP once again? That'll be very interesting, which we're about to see. LeBron James has now won it for 9 times in his career. 9 times MVP, which is the most by any player in this whole series. That's a third of the whole bloody thing. But 23.7 points per game is decent. Rookie of the year was Damian Hayward. Actually, I can't remember who actually was also in there. Paul Pierce is 6th man of the year for the Raptors. Maybe Raptors did have a very good year. LeBron winning defensive player. John Wall for the Orlando Magic picking up most improved player. I like John Wall. He's a very good player. And Brad Nelson, who is the Raptors coach. So the Raptors were, in the regular season, the best team, according to this, with 78-4, which is absolutely astonishing. And no one gives a shit about the executive. But Derrick Rose, Chris Paul, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Andre Banyani are in there. Oh, Hassan Whiteside. No, I don't know who you are. Paul George is in the second one. That's fantastic. How long has he been in the league now? He's only been in 4 years. It's actually remarkable to think that Paul George actually still isn't the worst age right now. He's only, about 32, 33, which is good. Third team, Dirk is in there. Dirk is now 35. And he's had a nice illustrious career going to 3 different, he's been at New Orleans, he's been at the Orlando Magic for many years now, and he started at the San Antonio Spurs. Carmelo Anthony has been at the Milwaukee Bucks, and then he's gone to Minnesota. So he stayed, the Bucks are Eastern? Don't really care about the defensive, but the rookies, we've got Otto Parker, we've got Giannis, who is at the Portland Trailblazers. Not the greatest of stats in his first year. Victor Oladipo's had a better one for the Brooklyn Nets, and Hayward, who actually got the Rookie of the Year. Anyone else? No, not really. But yeah, that is very good. Obviously, we are going to be looking at the league leaders first off, and Anthony Davis leads away. But like I've said in recent episodes, is the points haven't really gone over 30. There's not been that true standout player since LeBron when he was at the Bulls on the save, where for that one season he averaged 43.1 points per game, which is utterly unbelievable. But saying that, 30 is still fantastic to go for a regular season. So he's played 82 games and he started all 82 and he's averaging 30 points a game is fantastic. But like I said, these are based on players that are carrying their team and they're the main players, so the ball is going to come to them. Whereas say someone like LeBron now that is in a team with other players like Kobe and whatnot, he needs to share the ball more. He is in his final contract with the Raptors. Got to remind you that it does say 1 year. Whereas same with Anthony Davis, so he's going to go to a bigger team. Paul George might be going to a new team as well. Damian Lillard as well, who's at the Knicks, who's had a very good year as well. Bradley Beal 1 year. Most of these are 1 years. These ones because they're newly into the league. Chris Paul always seems to sign just 1 year contracts. He wants the best deal for Jimmy Butler 1 year. So there is a lot that are going to be looking for a free agency, which is going to be interesting. Steph Curry up there, Carmelo in the top 20, averaging 21 points per game. That's very good. So now we are going to look at the NBA standards. I don't like to look at them. I like to start from the bottom. So in the Western, the LA Lakers have the worst team, and I'm not too surprised by that. That is a bit of a letdown team, in all fairness. We've got the LA Clippers that At least they've got Jimmy Butler, but he still can't do anything to stop them not getting to the playoffs. Bradley Beal and Giannis can't get, but it's still two very. I think Bradley Beal's still, yeah, he's still very young. He's been in 2 years, and Giannis is. So this is could be a good pairing. 38. Yeah, they need more players. Golden State don't have anyone now because Steph Curry did actually get drafted by the Warriors, but he actually left after 1 or 2 years. So Dallas Mavericks made it in. They've got Anthony Davis, who's already 89 rated, which is absolutely fantastic. The Sacramento Kings don't have the greatest team, but they managed to get in. Utah Jazz, again, don't have the greatest team, but they're in. Houston Rockets. The Western, it's normally dominated by the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves, with also the Pelicans now, who formerly the Hornets, done very well. So here is the Grizzlies. They have a good team. Gordon Hayward's in there. Obviously, now they are missing the likes of Shaq, who retired a few years ago, a couple of years ago. But they've still got some fantastic players like Mike Conley. They've got Rajon Rondo. Look, that whole squad is still fantastic. They used the money wisely from the players they did lose in Jason Kidd and Shaquille O'Neal, and they reinvested, which was fantastic. Phoenix Suns. You know what? Their record, it's weird. They're games behind. They're 35 games behind, but they get the second seed. I don't actually know the difference between X and Y, but it doesn't really matter too much. Timberwolves come in second, which means the Pelicans must have come top. But the Timberwolves do have a nice team. 97 Chris Paul, 95 James Harden, 95 Carmelo Anthony, 89 Millsap, 91 Kevin Garnett, who is 37, but he's still 91 rated. Tyson Chandler, who is at a 31-year age, but look, they've got loads like DeRozan, who's 24, like he's ready to step in when called upon. But the New Orleans Pelicans, formerly the Hornets, who probably overall in this whole save have been the best team. Overall, they've had some fantastic players from Isaiah Thomas back in the day to like some great players now with like Derrick Rose, who's 95 rated, who's only 25. Vince Carter, who is coming to the end of his career, but he's still 92 rated. Kevin Love is a good age at 25. Dwight Howard is 28. It's not very like Kyle Lowry, only 28. Chris Bosh, 30. Pau Gasol, 33. Stuckey, who is only 28. They have a very good team. So I'm not too surprised at all that they're actually into playoffs as the top seed there. Atlanta Hawks normally have quite a few. Indiana Pacers, Brooklyn Nets have Oladipo, but not really anyone else. It looks like the Knicks have made it into the playoffs because we can't see them here. But the Wizards have they got anyone good? Not really. The Bucks, again, not really the greatest team. Cavaliers, not really. But the Bulls have made it in. They've got Tony Vaughn. That's about it, really. The Celtics have made it in. They don't really have a great team either. The New York Knicks are 6th seed with Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, and Whiteside. You know what? With 3 players like that, that's not bad, but they need a star in there. So it'll be interesting to see if they can build something over the next few years, because this is the most good players they've got in their team, but it's whether or not they stay. 5th seed is Miami Heat, who I believe they won the last episode. It's been a few hours, so I've forgotten. A team, but I looked at and thought, surely they're not going to win anything. Like 37, 34. Kawhi Leonard's obviously very young, but he's already 90 rated. They do have a very good squad, actually, which I didn't really take into much consideration, but they do. 4th, the Charlotte Bobcats, which is a team on the up. They've been rebranded, but they've got Steph Curry, they've got Ginobili, they've got Kevin Durant, they've got LaMarcus Aldridge. It's a good team. It's a team on the up, and it's still also a young team as well. 26. Yes, Ginobili is 36, but Kevin Durant's a good age. Aldridge is a good age as well, so it could be good. Detroit Pistons at the 3rd seed. Orlando Magic at the 2nd seed, and as we know, the Raptors are the 1st seed. But Orlando Magic have a very nice team. Dwayne Wade is good, and yes, he's 32, but it doesn't matter. They've got Westbrook, they've got Dirk, who's 35, but he's still 95 rating. Yao Ming, who's 33. So maybe they need to push. But the thing is, they've got Blake Griffin, 25. They've got John Wall, They've got Kyrie Irving as well, who's only 22. They do have some very good talent, but the best team in the NBA in the regular season is the Toronto Raptors, with Kobe Bryant coming more towards the end of his career. He's got one championship to his name, but LeBron James is still looking for his first one, and this is one of the best chances they've got. Like, Stoudemire's a good player, but again, he's into his 30s now. Paul Pierce is into his 30s, quite deep into it. DeMarcus Cousins is young, so keeping hold of him is going to be interesting. But it depends if Tim Hardaway Jr. It's going to be interesting to see if LeBron moves on. But it's going to be interesting. But anyway, let's actually get into the playoffs itself. Let's simulate round and see what's happened. So the Jazz go out, Celtics, Bulls, like these teams are expected, and the Knicks are out, unfortunately. But at least they've got to the playoffs. Hopefully they can keep hold of the players and get some good budgets. So we've got the Pelicans versus the Grizzlies and Minnesota. Those three teams we see all the time. Same with like Toronto, Orlando Magic. And, the Heat have gone up to the Charlotte Bobcats. This is what I mean. This is a team on the up. But anyway, let's simulate round. And it looks like it's going to be Toronto Raptors versus the Magic and Pelicans versus Minnesota. Like, these are probably the four best teams. It's simple as that. So we will, you know what? We'll simulate through games. So it's 1-0 to the Raptors. And Pelicans are in their game. 2-1, it's 2-0, 3-0 and 3-1. And it's so the Raptors are into the final. Let me just simulate through game. 3-2, 3-3. Wow. Okay, so one thing I will say, we will show the teams. So Kobe and LeBron are back to the finals. Is this going to be finally the year, or is Carmelo Anthony going to get his second NBA? And I think Chris Paul has won one. Was he won two? He won one. He won the same year as Carmelo. So when these two were together, they won against the Raptors, I believe. So anyway, you know what? Let's simulate. Let's actually put a bit more emphasis into the final bits of this. But we'll go fast, but like I want to see how it's panned out. So it looks like it's the Raptors going to be taking a 1-0 lead at home against the Timberwolves, and it is by a good margin. Let's look at the box score. So for the Raptors, it's actually Pierce, who is a good age. But to be fair, there's a lot of players that have put in a good shift. DeMarcus Cousins even putting in a good shift. Carmelo and Chris Paul. But there's nothing really else about that, which is interesting. If we go to Simcast again, we simulate the game. Okay, we'll get a good grasp on it. Oh, it looks like Raptors are potentially going to take... Oh, no, it's good to come back by the Timberwolves. And they are going to take the second game away from home from the Raptors. That's a brilliant, brilliant game for neutral. Obviously, for LeBron, he wants to take a 2-0 lead. But Raptors away from home at the Timberwolves. They've got a nice lead right now, but it's their comeback into it. Oh, is it going to be? It is going to be the Raptors away from home. So they take a 2-1 lead. Oh, this is going to be very, very interesting from this point on. Timberwolves are at home again. But it looks like Timberwolves are responding very well. They've got a nice, comfortable lead right now. And it looks like, yes, it is. It is going to be 2-all. Paul's 27 leads the Timberwolves over hapless hit Raptors, 119-100. Big lead. This is close. This is going to go down to the wire. Oh, okay, a Simprove game. And it is 3-2 now to the Timberwolves. If we go into Simcast, this could be the final game. If Timberwolves... Oh, wow, the Timberwolves are taking a massive lead so far. They're ahead by about 20. I think it's going to be the Timberwolves yet again. It looks like it's going to be the Timberwolves. It looks like it is going to be the Timberwolves who are going to win it once again. I don't believe it. LeBron James can't do anything for this team. 19 seconds ago, we are going to jump in. It looks like Carmelo and Chris Paul back together after Chris Paul comes from the Raptors. It's going to be brilliant for the Wolves. The Western Conference having a very good spell right now. Is Carmelo just going to keep hold of it? Surely he's just going to keep hold of it. They're leading by 25 points. Carmelo versus LeBron. And Carmelo in this simulation has been so much better. There doesn't seem to be many fans, even though it's at the Timberwolves. What does LeBron have to do to win a championship? James Harden, you know what? This team has got better since the last time the Timberwolves won it. So I am very happy with that.
And whenever you win the NBA championship, there is a level of accomplishment and excitement that really can't be matched. But pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to let you guys watch this. Obviously, it's the same as we see every time. Great for Chris Paul.
This place is going crazy. The bench loves it. The fans obviously overjoyed. This is one of those moments these players will never forget. Let's go to the floor. Here is Adam Silver presenting the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
The Larry O'Brien Trophy.
Has emerged victorious. The NBA champion. Congratulations to the whole organization and, of course, this incredible team. This Larry O'Brien Trophy and I believe this suitcase are yours.
I haven't heard that before. Who is MVP? It's Kevin Garnett, you know, again. Fair play. Well done, Big Kevin. Is he a 2-time or 3-time champion now? That's the interesting thing, but I do actually want to know. I'll have a look at him, because if he's giving it 4-time. Wait, so he won it in 98 and 99. Wow, that's a big split, you know. Jeez, that's actually one of the best we've seen. So 98 and 99. In 98, he won it with the Timberwolves. He's been at the Timberwolves for a long time, so he's 4-time with the Timberwolves. That is fantastic for him. But anyway, let's continue. Let's see who's retiring. So Abdur Rahim is retiring. Ray Allen also after 18 years of service. Tim Duncan is retiring. Allen Iverson as well, who was a free agent. We have quite a few Hall of Fame inductees then. Right, let's see how many they won. So championships, only one for Allen Iverson. Tim Duncan won 2, and Abdur Rahim must be all for the Miami Heat. Obviously we know the jersey numbers retirement. Historic changes, any happen in 2014? Just a few different brandings. The draft lottery, let's see who gets it. The Lakers actually get the first pick, which makes sense because they were crap. Right, let's go past the draft and see who it was. So it was, I can't remember. I know Julius Randle was in there. But let's have a look. So the Lakers get Jabari Parker. The Hawks take Andrew Wiggins. The Clippers got Joel Embiid, who was the best pick. So it's weird that he hasn't gone to the Lakers. Jokic, who's come in. Zach LaVine has gone to 76ers. The Thunder get Julius Randle. Bogdanovic has come in. That's pretty interesting. But anyway, let's see. Let's have a look. How many top players? LeBron James has no offers, apparently, so he's probably going to stay at the Raptors. Chris Paul, he's got 3 offers on the table. He likes to just have 1-year deals. Kevin Durant looks set to leave. Derrick Rose, Rajon Rondo, Vince Carter, Dwayne Wade, Banyani's in there, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, LaMarcus Aldridge. We've got Anthony Davis in there. A lot of young players, even like players like Yao Ming, maybe looking for one last move. We've got Hayward in there, who's a good rating. There's a lot of great players in there. And I saw Klay Thompson, who is at the Knicks, so it looks like he is probably going to be leaving as well. So let's have a look to see where everyone goes. That's the interesting thing. I would say there's going to be quite a few that just re-sign. I think that's just going to be normal. But we'll see. So Ginobili re-signed for the Hornets. LaMarcus Aldridge has gone to the Pelicans. LeBron James is signed for the Miami Heat. Okay, that's an interesting 4-year deal. This is probably going to be his final deal. Actually, no, he's got 2 more deals in him. But Tracy McGrady is still there, but he's 35 years old. Tony Parker's there. Kawhi Leonard is still very young, so him staying there is going to be good. But LeBron James is back up to a 99 rating, and he has gone to the Miami Heat as he did in real life. Not at this stage in his career, though. Blake Griffin has gone to the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have a very good squad. Obviously, the current champions, but that is an incredible squad. Kevin Garnett, 89 rated. They've got Blake Griffin in there. They've got Anthony Davis. Oh, bloody hell. It's fantastic. Vince Carter has gone to the Grizzlies. How old is he? 37, so that's probably his final deal, potentially. Paul George has gone to the Raptors to replace LeBron. Oh, Kevin Durant is signed for the Raptors from the Bobcats. Interesting. Timberwolves have also Anthony Davis. I did say that, didn't I? I did say that, yes. Klay Thompson has gone to the Hornets. It's the Charlotte Hornets now. So the Bobcats turned into Hornets. New Orleans went from the Hornets to the Pelicans. Yeah, because Steph Curry is still there. That's why it's confusing. That is why it's confusing. But no, some of those are fantastic. Oh, Whiteside actually stayed at the Knicks, but they don't really have any good players. But a very interesting episode once again. LeBron moves team to the Heat, which is interesting because, to be fair, they have a history of getting some championships, and maybe this is finally his chance after missing out yet again in the finals. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap things up until for this episode. If you guys have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, but until next time, goodbye.